I hate to say that I am, but I feel like I'm addicted to technology a little bit.
Interesting.
Like I feel only because I feel like I can't function like the things I need done. I can't really get them done without technology. It's almost like you're forced.
I could have put more work in to get to the level I knew I could have gotten to. Mm-hmm. But then look at someone that's putting like all of that extra work in. Mm-hmm. And then I would be like jealous of the fact that they figured that out. Mm-hmm. And I didn't.
Say what you want, Nicki. You deserve a Grammy, girl. Even if you had been cutting up lately. You still deserve some Grammys, period.
Welcome to another episode of Real Cozy Talk. I'm your co-host Ty, my lovely wife, co-host Nella, and we're here to give you real topics, real views, and real cozy vibes. Please follow us on the gram. Please follow us on Facebook. Please follow us on TikTok. And subscribe to this video, like this video, and most importantly, share this video.
Mm-hmm. Real Cozy Talks across all platforms, by the way.
Nella, what are we sipping on tonight?
So we're trying something new. We are trying alcohol removed wine, which we've never had. And the brand, I would imagine, is free, F-R-E, free. And this is their red blend. So let's taste.
Yeah, let's taste.
Wait, where's a cheers to episode 7?
Cheers, episode 7. It's my first time trying alcohol-free wine, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. Definitely alcohol free.
Definitely alcohol free.
It tastes exactly like what it sounds like.
This is very interesting. Extremely light.
Yeah. This alcohol free for real. But I mean, it's cool for the people who like alcohol free. I would probably try a different brand, but
yeah, for sure try a different brand, but that is definitely different than a regular brand.
Which is to be expected. Anyway. You know I gotta ask. Anything new? What's going on in life?
I'm excited for our trip coming up.
Me too.
Been thinking about that lately.
I know. We gotta get the planning.
Yeah, I know, man. We haven't done anything for that for real. But yeah, I am excited for that. Yeah. Just to see something totally different.
Yeah, stay tuned. Keep up with me, Naturally Nella, on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, you'll see our adventures coming up soon because it's going to be our 9-year anniversary coming up.
Yeah, woo.
I know. So I'm looking forward to that.
It should be really fun, man. We got to get the planning for real on that.
Yeah.
We're kind of behind.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
As far as me and mine, my hair.
What about it?
I don't think I told you, but sometimes I debate on whether or not I want to
cut it.
No, I mean I'm open to that too. I just want something different. I contemplate becoming a straight natural sometimes. I don't really care about my hair getting fried, sizzled, heat damaged, all of that. But it's like I kind of don't want it to be heat damaged, if that makes any sense. Like I don't care if it does, but yeah, I feel like I've been struggling with my hair stuff lately. And yeah, that's my problem.
Well, I mean, got a lot of hair though, man.
Like, I know. What do you think I should do though?
I don't know. I don't know. If you can't figure it out, I think you should just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we're going to see. I feel like that's been my struggle this week.
You wanted to lock it up at one point.
I know. I still kind of do at some point. Everybody in my family has locks though.
So you rather lock it or you rather cut it?
Cut.
Yeah.
Cut. Or maybe I should lock it then cut it. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But that's my struggle this week. I've been a little frustrated with my hair, but yeah, it's all good.
Let's get into some real ish. Today we're talking about technology dependencies. So, I know we're millennials. So, it was different for us because we came through a time where we didn't have any technology and now we do. Well, we had technology, but on the scale that it is today.
Yeah, no, it's different. It's different, and we got to see the transition for real. I mean, obviously, every generation can say they've seen transitions in technology, but I feel like the rate in which it's going right now, we've seen a lot. We went from dial-up, can't be on the computer and the phone at the same time, to multiple devices connected at one time.
Device, right?
Yeah. Heck yeah. So I feel like we've seen a big transition in all with all the increase in technology and the advancements. I feel like I hate to say that I am, but I feel like I'm addicted to technology a little bit.
Interesting.
Like I feel only because I feel like I can't function, like the things I need done, I can't really get them done without technology. It's almost like you're forced. It's easy for me to put my phone down. Like I know some people will be like, I can never be without my phone for whatever. No, I can be without my phone for an extended period of time. Like it won't mess with me mentally, but as far as what I need to get done.
Right. So do you think it's more so the company's fault or our fault? Because, we are the users. You understand what I'm saying?
But it's like, yeah, I think it's a mix of both. Right? Because you have people who are just addicted. Like, they're just addicted. They stay up at night. I'm not going to say my family member, but one of my family members say that they deal with insomnia. And I'm like, is it that you deal with insomnia or is it that you cannot put down Candy Crush at night? Like, right. I don't know. I just feel like, baby girl, I think you're just addicted to playing Candy Crush and little games at night. And your brain has now been trained to stay up and do these things.
Right.
Because if she put the phone down and say, I will not touch my phone, no matter if I wake up to go pee, I bet you she's going to start sleeping good.
Just setting some little restrictions on your phone.
You can do that.
I do think that with the way that the world is today, it's almost like technology is involved in everything.
And that's what I was saying.
Even your toothbrush. You know what I mean? Like just little things that you can't do without technology in a sense. Because just think for the educational system, right? When we grew up, we had to write in cursive. We had to do a lot of writing by hand. Nowadays, they get a computer or a tablet before they can even speak. Mm-hmm. So they don't learn. I don't think they learn cursive anymore. A lot of them don't know what an analog clock is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people can't read it, and it's not necessarily their fault.
It isn't their fault at all. But do you think that with how, I guess with all the advancements in technology, do you think that people, especially kids younger than us, will suffer from it? I mean, us included, because we're participating. It's hard not to.
I think, strangely enough, I don't think they will feel any damage because they've never been through a life cycle to where they didn't have technology. So all they know is technology.
That's all they know.
So that's all they know. So there was an apocalypse of some kind and the world just shut down. Millennials and on would know how to deal with that. The younger generation, I don't think would know how to deal with that.
They'll struggle more because they've never seen it.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like what am I supposed to do? I have technology all the time. I have a device. I always have something. What does this mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. But on the other hand, with them, I feel like even though they don't know, I feel like we exercised, especially in the past, our brains a lot more because it required you to think more, work through things by hand more, just things like that. I feel like our brains were just exercised and stimulated a lot more than this. And I don't know. I ain't God. I don't know what that's going to play out to look like. But I would like to see a study or see what their brains kind of look like 30, 40 years down the road.
But see, that's the point I'm making.
Like, will they be as sharp?
I don't know. Because, for instance, the phone thinks for us a lot now.
Yeah.
I don't have to know how to spell something off the top of my head because I have my phone.
Do you think at some point it's going to be an epiphany where they're like, okay, y'all, we've been taking this a little bit too far with everything, with all of the technology and all the things, and we need to scale back? Like, do you think there's going to be an era? You know how now there's this big focus on mental health and all that, which I love. Yes, I love it. I love that there's a movement, but I always feel like there's a mass movement of a certain action. Do you think there's going to become a time where people are like, nah, I'm on my disconnecting vibe? Like, they're going to be like, Gen Z is now going on picnic dates without phones, and you know what I'm saying? Just like stuff like that. Do you think that there's going to come a time where they're like, nah, this is a movement. We're off that constantly using our phone and devices situation, and we're reconnecting with Earth and grounding, and you don't see that being a thing?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be for brief moments, you know, or it'd be facilities to where, hey, if you want to come in here and just deal with if you're talking about from that sense, to where someone has created this environment that will allow you to come in and be disconnected from the technology world, then yes. If you're talking about like no technology day or just whatever, I don't think that's happening. Like I just don't see it happening. I think we have to deal with our mental health while technology grows. Yeah. Because you have all these people trying to compete with each other. The next thing, I can make your life easier. Just all these extra different devices. I don't think it's going to slow down at all.
So you know how some of us millennials talk about this a lot, like the whole technology thing and how it's just advancing so fast and how people are so caught up in social media. Like that's like a common conversation. Yeah. Do you think that we are turning into our parents in the sense of like, you know how your parents were like, turn that junk of music off, or like back in our day we used to like, do you think that that's what we sound like to our kids?
Maybe a little bit, but I also think we understand too, like
the ramifications of being so locked in.
Because like I said, we had a taste of both worlds. We didn't have a lot. Now we have a lot. Like I feel like we are the best generation because of that. Yeah, I just feel like I feel like we've got to see a lot of things. We've gotten to see a lot of changes because things are moving so fast. Right. And you know, not to cut you off, you were about to speak.
No, that's what I was going to say.
To further answer that question, the reason why I don't think that we sound like our parents too much is because at times when we didn't have much, we were asking for some of these things. Man, what if this exists? Man, what if we had a phone that could just, we have a phone. So now that we see that the younger generation has all these things, it's like, well, dang, like they got everything we kind of wish for. Sense.
They do have everything we kind of wish for, and then some. Because I didn't think we would have all of these smart things. I didn't even think. I mean, coming from MySpace to all the social medias we have now.
Right. And there you go. There go another piece. Look at how much competition is out there with social media now. Yeah. You see, we just talked about TikTok the other day.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of competition out here. It's a lot of competition. With that being said, okay, so we agree that, well, for me, let me ask you then, do you feel like you're technology dependent? Because I feel like by force, we, in a sense, all are.
I think, in a sense, yes, because you need it to work. You know, you need it to search for things. However, I'm not on my phone as much as the average individual that's on their phone.
Yeah, because I'm searching for something real quick. I'm always, if I have a random thought and I don't know the answer, I'm searching. I probably search. I'm not even being dramatic. I probably search 30 things a day, because if I think something and I don't know it, I'm going to go find the answer real quick. I'm going to ask, hey Siri, is this animal extinct? If I have the thought, I'm looking it up because I want to know.
Now I have rabbit holes, right? Like, I'll just go down this rabbit hole of like just searching things. But I don't mindlessly scroll. I don't do that. I don't just mindlessly scroll and just look at like goofy stuff all day. Like, I don't just do that. Yeah. Now, again, I'm not perfect. At times I do. But 9 times out of 10, I'm not doing it.
So since you have a good balance, I feel like I have a pretty okay balance too, because I'll shut some things off. Like, I'm the type, even at like dinner, like parents will allow their kids to be sitting at the table, and we've done it a couple times, but we have to check ourselves. Like, okay, no devices at the table.
Yeah. It's about being present.
It's about being present.
It's about being present, because you're not present. Like, why are we out eating if we all just on our device? We could do this at the house.
Yeah, I think it's rude.
It is.
I think it's so rude. And like when like you'll visit people and it'll be dinner time and everybody's in their own corner. This person's playing the game. Right. This person's doing like what. That was unacceptable. But you see, when we were younger, like you can't just be doing that. Somebody walked up in the house. I know you seen your auntie walk up in this house.
Right, I know you.
I know you heard this door open. You better come acknowledge your auntie that you ain't seen in 2 years. What do you mean? You playing your video game?
Exactly, and think it's a problem when they have to acknowledge. Mm-hmm. But that's another thing, the technology dependency, right there. Like you have food, we're having dinner time, and everybody's in their own corners.
So, what are some things that you do? Like that was I actually just kind of answered the question in a sense. That's one thing that we do is we do like no phones, no screen time at dinner. We we starting to eat as a family again. That was something we do on and off. Like sometimes we'll slip and pull it back together. Like, hey, we ain't been on it the way we're usually on it. So let's make sure that we're sitting at the table with no devices. That's the only time we really have. We working, the kids are at school, and at dinner time, after that, they're taking a shower, winding down for bed. That's an important time. So I think it's important to do a shut off. I wish more people would actually do that.
Yeah, we gotten better with that.
Yeah.
We definitely gotten better with that. That's one main thing.
Like, what are some other things that you do to say, listen, I participate in social media and all the things online, but I don't really need it. I don't need it. What are some things?
So what are some things that I do in place of that? Mm-hmm. Well, I told you, I read.
You do read.
Because it helps me get my mind going. It helps me use muscles that I wouldn't normally use when I'm on the phone.
Thinking muscles.
Yeah, my thinking muscles. Trying to develop my mind, right? Unless I'm looking at good content. Now I will say, listen, it has its pros as well, because you could be on social media looking at a bunch of goodness, brain health, cleaning up your diet. You could be looking at how to develop financial literacy. There are good things on social media. There are good things within technology. I'm not saying it's all bad, but to be completely dependent upon it, no, you have to set boundaries or set some time limits for yourself to be like, all right, let me go get some air, and go walk and get some nature in.
No, that's
true. But even some people got to walk and look at their phone.
I know. I feel like we live in our phones. I feel like people. I don't feel like I live on my phone, because I will just put it down and just chill. But I do feel like for the most part, we live in our phones, and that's why when people don't have it or have access to it, they don't really know how to. It's like they don't know how to cope. Like they're miserable, like as if they're losing their minds, and that's a little scary.
Right. You see Jaden and Malachi just be like, what's wrong? I'm bored.
Yeah. Jaden, you take his tablet. I'm bored. This house is boring.
It's boring in here.
Yeah. And he says that all the time. And it's just like, no, baby, you've had enough of your tablets. I'm taking that. Let's learn to be present and interact. Even the way that the kids interact. It's just like their communication skills is just so different. Like I see a major difference than the way we communicated when we were younger versus them. Like it's not even like the words. It's just like the mannerisms. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like the courtesy, it's just not there.
Lack of conversations.
Yes, they don't really know. It's like the conversations be awkward.
Exactly.
The conversations are awkward versus when we were younger. Yeah, of course they're awkward because you're kids, but it was a different awkward. With them, it's just like, hi, how are you today? Good.
Right, good.
One word answers, and it's just like you have to press for them to, because all they're thinking is, I'm waiting for this conversation to be done so that I can go back and play my game.
Exactly. So I can go back to scrolling on the phone.
Exactly.
We ain't talking about nothing of importance right now. So let me get back to nothing of importance.
Mm-hmm. You know what we do for our kids? They have time limits.
Yeah.
They have time limits. The oldest one is about to be 15 and he still has social media time limits. And I know some parents might think that that's really strict, but
no, I think it's beneficial. Actually, I just think it's beneficial. You have to understand that there's more life than just sitting at this computer and sitting on this phone. Mm-hmm.
We started the time limits when he was it's been years, probably 9. And as a result, he used to hate reading. Probably before. It's been years. It's been years. I don't remember when, but we were like, no, enough is enough. And as a result of that, he's now an avid reader. Like before, he wasn't really into reading and stuff like that. English was his worst subject. Like he's really smart, but English was the one that he struggled in. Remember, he'd always kind of struggled in that and paying attention. That boy will now ask you, like, can you order me this series of 7 books?
Right, he reads a lot now. Now I will say he speaks very well when it's time to speak. Like
very articulate.
Yes,
especially when he's passionate about it.
Hey, when he's passionate about it, he speaks extremely well.
So definitely limiting their time. I mean, I think it's helpful, and I think more parents should consider not allowing their kids to stay on the game. And it's so easy to feel so bad because you're like, oh, they're so bored. No, you have toys.
Yeah, you got toys.
You have books.
You have drawing. You have things to do. Like paint. Go get some nature. Yes. Go outside. You don't see kids outside a lot because of it.
Go play a sport. We put the oldest one in basketball. Go play sports.
Do something.
Do something other than play on this game because this is not okay.
What's wrong with you? I'm bored.
I'm bored. It's just bored. But now Malachi doesn't say he's bored. He just reads.
Yeah, he just reads.
The little one does, but don't worry, we're gonna get him right.
He'd be all right. So
we're gonna get him right.
So all in all, I guess what are some things we could take away?
Just being mindful, like setting time to do things outside of your phone and TV and all of that, because a lot of what we do is dependent on technology to begin with, dependent on our phone. Social media, all of these things. Just be intentional about setting time aside to do something outside of that, whether it be I like to walk, I like to feel the sun against my skin, read when I get in the mood. Like when I get in my reading spells, I'm in them. Okay. Just making time to do other things.
And not feeling like you're controlled by your devices.
Yeah.
Because you don't control me.
Yeah. I control me.
I control me.
That's good. That's good point. Good point. Some really good points were made, but it's time to move on to hot topics. First up, Nicki Minaj was accidentally announced for Best Rap Song for Barbie World instead of Scientists and Engineers. How you do that?
I don't know.
How you do that? I feel like they're playing with this girl. To add on to that, so since 2011, she has been nominated for 12 Grammys, but she hasn't won one yet, making her one of the most nominated artists without the award.
I do think I think it's very weird because that Cash Money Records run she had,
her entire run,
like she was hot at one point with Wayne and Drake. She was hot, and some argue that she still has she's not what she used to be, but she has a following.
She does. She has a following. I think she. Here's my thing with Nicki Minaj. I don't like how she has been ruining her legacy in a sense by going back and forth with people online. Like I hate that so much because I love what she's accomplished in her career, and I feel like it's taken so much away from her legacy with her arguing with people online. But despite how you feel about how she's been handling herself, you have to not be biased and acknowledge the impact that she's had.
And that's the thing
on rap, female rap specifically, and her whole influence on the culture. I don't care what you think about how she's been cutting up. The fact that she doesn't have a Grammy, come on now.
Yeah, and sometimes that always get glossed over because it's like your behavior maybe. That's not fair. It's
not fair. And to be honest, she really just started cutting up a few years ago. Like she wasn't always, responding to people and coming off. I don't want to say how she's coming off, but just doing the things she's been doing. She hasn't always, it's just like disappointing. It's just disappointing. But she hasn't been doing this but a few years. So what about the other years prior to? Like, we cannot deny this lady's impact and influence on the culture.
Exactly. And at one point in time, she felt like she was the only rap artist. Like it just felt like it was like
it felt like it was just Nicki in her own world.
Nicki in her own world
for a period.
Exactly. They had everybody else. Nicki and everybody else. Mm-hmm. The fact that she hasn't won a Grammy and been nominated since 2011?
I'm just saying, since 2011.
Since 2011, that's crazy.
It's crazy, and it's disrespectful to this lady, the work that she's put in. I don't care how you feel about her antics. Her body of work speaks for itself.
Exactly. You got to leave out. You can't. If we're talking about accolades, numbers, those things don't have nothing to do with outside world. It doesn't impact it at all. So it's just not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Say what you want, Nicki. You deserve a Grammy, girl. Even if you had been cutting up lately, you still deserve some Grammys. Period. Okay. Next up. So there is a train. I think it's called the superconductive maglev. 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 I don't know, but at some point it will take you from DC to New York in 1 hour. It's the world's fastest train, by the way.
Pretty dope. I still think, like, you got to have a selling point. You still have those Japanese planes that are, trains that are pretty fast.
Yeah.
But, 300 and some odd miles, that's...
Yeah, but I do think that the company, don't quote me, I think it's actually a Chinese-based company.
Okay, well, there you go then. Well, it would make sense because, like I said,
their transportation is, yeah.
So, what would be cool, though, because I know they're still, like, ironing out things. Mm-hmm. Just imagine if you live in DC or vice versa and you just want to go work.
Facts.
You can get there in an hour now.
Facts.
Depending on like what that system actually looks like.
Yeah.
If it's convenient in that way for you to say, you know what, let me go work in New York because it's better for me. I have more opportunity there than here. That'd be dope.
That would be fire.
Because you already commute now. Like for the people that drive to work, you commute probably an hour and a half now, one way because of traffic.
I'd like to see how much more this takes off. Like how many more states it comes to.
Right, because you have Delaware. I think Wilmington, Delaware is one of the stops. Yeah, Pennsylvania.
That they're adding? That'll eventually include? Oh, wow.
Yeah, those stops will be included. And I think Baltimore as well.
Yeah, the airport to somewhere. Like somewhere to the airport, BWI. Listen.
Yeah.
I would love that's the kind of technology I'm here for. Save me time and money. And think about it. So I have family in Maryland. If we go to Maryland and we want to run to New York real quick.
Just real quick.
Run to New York real quick and then come back. That would be fire.
You could, think about it. You could almost, again, depending on how smooth the system is, you could do that in a day.
No facts.
You leave early, come back late.
No facts. Because I used to take the megabus from... If I could do a megabus trip from DC to New York in one day, like we would get up early, get on the first megabus for $1.
How long was that?
How long was the ride?
Yeah, how long was the ride? If you remember?
4 hours.
See, now think exactly
like 4.5 hours. We used to do that in a day. I mean, we would come back tired. I had no business doing that at 16 years old. First of all,
yeah,
I was like 15, 16. I don't even know if they know we were doing that.
But different experience though, because you had metro and stuff, so it probably felt natural. Just in terms of transportation purposes.
Yeah, no facts. That didn't feel like nothing special. Right. It was just like we paying $1.
Exactly, you paying a whole $1 to go to New York.
$2 round trip from New York
to go to New York. Now, what I think is cool about this is hopefully this will open the door. Should this be successful, and I do think it'll be successful. Hopefully, it opens the door for like across the nation bullet trains.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see it happen here. Like I want to get to Charlotte in 20 minutes.
Facts. Or like think about that. If you can get to New York in an hour from DC, then that means, I'm just saying, you want to go to Cali on a bullet train. Yeah. You could get there in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours, and it'd be a lot cheaper.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5, but maybe 5. That's competing with the plane.
That is competing with the plane, especially if it's cheaper.
That's what I'm saying, because you can get to Vegas and LA in 5 hours on a plane. Yeah. If it's a straight flight.
I don't know what that would look like building that out, but that would be fire just to see how much it grows after the current plan they have in place. But I'm for this too. Next, billionaire Peter Thiel's putting his money towards enhanced games. So enhanced games is supposed to like compete with the Olympics, and what it is basically the Olympics on steroids, where they actively encourage athletes to use performance enhancement drugs. Ciao.
I'm not necessarily against it. My only thing is what happens when you start having these heart attacks and people just start falling out on a consistent level.
I know,
because you're going to have people that's going to overdo it.
You sure are. I wonder if they're going to have things in place. First of all, I wonder if they're going to have things in place to say, yes, you're allowed to use, but there's a standard, or like I wonder if they're gonna have things in. They're probably not. I feel like people already probably use a lot in the Olympics anyway and don't get caught. So they're probably just like, well, let's just keep it transparent. Some of y'all are using anyway, so why not? But I still think it's weird.
Right, some of y'all are using. Like I said, I think it's weird. I don't. But at the same time, I think they're just trying to create a space for people that want to cheat. I mean, listen, if you can't listen. I can't compete on my natural level, man. But I do want to compete. I want to be a world track star. I want to be an Olympian. Well, not necessarily Olympian, but I want to be glorified.
Enhanced Olympian.
An
enhanced Olympian.
An enhanced being. An enhanced. I want to be recognized globally, and daggone it, if I got to do drugs to do it.
But I feel like it wouldn't hit the same for me. Yeah. Me personally, the win not gonna hit the same, knowing that I'm using a performance enhancement drug to get to that place. Like, I'm straight.
It's not gonna hit the same. It's just gonna be on some Hulk shit. Like,
it ain't gonna hit the same. It ain't gonna hit the same. Next, so according to Elon Musk, I don't even know if he's telling the truth or not. But according to Elon Musk, the first human patient has received a brain chip implant, which aims to enable people to control a computer cursor or keyboard using their thoughts alone. I'm sick of it. This is what I'm talking about right here with the technology just going way too far. Like, a brain chip.
Right. This is dangerous.
It is dangerous territory. I don't think it will succeed. Number one, here's why. I think that the human brain is just far too complex it's just too complex. You think sometimes multiple thoughts at the same time. How would this chip be able to decipher what you're trying to tell it to do? And then if it works, what kind of doors are you opening up for other craziness? Is this iRobot?
Well, is it Divergent? Because like in Divergent, this is a similar concept. I'm sorry. Where I think they had chips put in them so that they can be tracked and controlled in a sense. Mm-hmm. I think eventually, I don't want to say that that's the case, but it's like, why else would you want to do that? Yeah. I think it's more so of a control thing when it's all said and done, to like try to put people in their places. They're not following in line with how this world needs to be in the future. Yeah. Otherwise, why are you doing that?
I will say a plus could be people who are disabled.
Well, see, yes,
maybe that could be a benefit. But I think if this is going to be a thing and it's actually going to work, there needs to be strict rules, because these people are taking it too far. Like, this man. Let me not talk about this man.
But I'm in the belief of, if that's really the case for like the disabled, that needs to be up front. Yeah, that would be up front. Like,
I do think that they're the first ones it'll be like tested on and stuff. I don't think that that's the overall goal. I'm not sure. Regardless of whether or not that's the goal, it's still too much. It's too much. Y'all are taking this technology thing too far.
I will say one more thing too. I don't know if I'm more wowed by the idea of it or by the person that allowed it to happen. Should it be true?
Well, like I said, they did say that the first people tested would be disabled. So I imagine that person is probably disabled. Maybe they feel like they don't have nothing to lose.
Well, no, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Me personally, you're not putting no chip up in my brain. That's going to be against my will.
Yeah, unless they force it.
Yeah. Because I feel like they're going to eventually, it's too much. They're going to die.
Hold you down and force it in your chip.
No, that's going to be the only way.
We insist. This is not a discussion. This is
mandatory. Like, we're coming to your house.
We're not going back and forth with you. And we're sending these AI bots over there to do it.
No, fact.
Because I'm not going to go back and forth with you. So
I'm about to come put this chip in your brain. Well, let's see you take it out. Let's see you take it out.
Let's see you argue with these AI bots since you want to talk.
No, facts. But moving on, it's time for
Apply That Pressure.
Okay, you're not going to have me beating on this chair by myself. You need to
share. Okay, so you going first, right?
No, you can ask. Go ahead.
That's crazy. We got to keep score like this.
Mm-hmm. I'll go first next
pretty
time.
childish, you know.
Oh no! Didn't you ask first the last time? I don't know. Just go ahead.
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead. It's okay.
No, I didn't.
It's okay.
All right. Have you ever sent a juicy text to the wrong person?
Yes, absolutely.
Share a story.
I mean, I can't think of one specifically, but there have been multiple times where I'll be like thinking, like, let's just say I'm thinking about the person it's about. Yeah. And I'm talking to someone else about it and I send it to the wrong person. Thankfully, I've not had those crazy ones where I'm like talking bad about the person, but I would rather not them know.
Right.
Or whatever. But I've definitely sent the wrong message to somebody because I've been thinking about it. Let me think if I could think of, what happened at work?
You did it at work?
Yes. It happened at work last week.
Dang.
This one of my colleagues sent me something. And I don't know if I should talk about this, but one of my colleagues sent me something. I'm very to myself at work. I only talk to a couple of people, but I help a lot of people. But as far as like relationships wise, I only talk to a couple of people.
Yeah.
And one of my colleagues sent me something and I just thought it was just like, I feel like y'all should know I don't really participate in the messiness. You know what I mean? So I was sending it to one of my other colleagues who's the only one I talk to. She's very similar to me in that we don't be knowing what be going on because we're in our own bubble.
Right.
So I screenshot her the message or whatever. Thankfully, it wasn't that messy, but I screenshot her the message. Like my friend coworker, I sent it to her just to say, hey, she's saying this and I don't have time. But there's a group chat where I help people in. And I accidentally posted the message in there. And then I deleted it. But it wasn't anything messy. It was just like, why'd you send that? Yeah.
Ooh.
But I don't think anyone saw it because when I tell you at the moment I hit send, I took it back.
Yeah, okay. They probably didn't see it.
They probably didn't see it, but I did it 5 days ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Thankfully, I don't be at work talking about people because I don't care that much. But I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Question: What do you think makes people fall out of love?
Money.
Money? Dang.
Money is like the biggest reason for people that separate. That's
true. That's a fact. They say it's not infidelity. It's actually finances. That's the number one, right?
Yeah, it's actually finances. Like to be honest with you, while you have people that hate cheating, like you will have people that get over cheating before money.
Dang.
Because there's something about the money. It's like, because you have people that hide money from them and all this extra stuff, but like you also have controlling figures.
Yeah. That's true. Dang.
You have controlling figures because you there's people that feel as though when they're the breadwinner or if they have a lot of money, they feel like they should be in control. Mm-hmm. I make the decisions.
But that's why it's important, especially as women, to not fall into do what you want. But as far as me, my daddy told me don't do that. Like I need to be able to stand on my own 2 feet if my man ups and leaves me.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. But I think it's money.
Yeah.
Like I said, money is the reason. Money is the number one reason. Take money out of it, you still have problems, right? But I don't think you have like financial problems.
Well, obviously, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the first thing you do if you woke up one day and you were the opposite sex?
I'll have to just look down like I'll probably just go pee.
Go pee?
Yeah, like
to see what it feels like to stand up and pee?
Yeah. Like first things first, let's see how this thing works. Let's go pee. Just to see. I've never stood up and peed. So, yeah. I wouldn't do nothing crazy. I know what you're thinking.
I ain't thinking about nothing. I'm just saying.
Maybe I would try that later on.
I'm just saying.
I think I would just freak out, honestly. I would pee. No, realistically, the first thing I'm doing is I'm crying. I'm crying. Because what is this? thing down here.
Right.
I don't want this on me. Get this removed.
You'll quickly realize how much adjusting we have to do throughout the day.
Shoot.
Throughout the day.
I'm good. I'm good off that. Put me on the table. Surgically remove that thing. I am good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Okay, you'll go pee.
Mm-hmm. Cry then pee.
Cry then pee.
Cry then pee.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you were jealous?
Long time ago. I don't really get jealous. Maybe like in high school, college, sports. Cause like I was more so at one point. It was very brief though. Jealous of the fact that I could have put more work in to get to the level I knew I could have gotten to. But then look at someone that's putting like all of that extra work in, and then I would be like jealous of the fact that they figured that out and I didn't. So more so that one. But
that's a real one as a guy. Most guys wouldn't admit that.
Yeah. I mean, cause you'll have that moments where it's like, man, that should have been me. That should have been me, which it really could have been, because at the same time I quickly had to realize, I didn't put the work in. But I already had that thinking process when I was in high school, when I realized I was as good as everybody else, but I wasn't physically gifted.
So you had to work extra hard.
And it's like they're working hard, but they are either twice my size or just more beefed up in the areas that I played.
Right.
So my mind is like, why would they take me if they could just get a stronger version of who's doing exactly what I'm doing?
Right.
Made sense to me at that point.
Yeah.
But then also, you will see guys that are my size or a little bit bigger that they are on levels to where I'm like, I could have been on that level, but they are putting in extra work.
Yeah.
They ain't put in.
Right. I feel
and then you just gotta swallow that pride. You gotta like realize, okay, on to the next.
On to the next thing. Okay. That's a real one. That's a real answer right there.
Yeah, man. Most guys go through that. They ain't gonna admit it though.
Yeah.
What's the wildest thing you've done for love?
The wildest thing? Why you ask these hard questions?
And it's not hard.
It's
hard, but it's a good question. Because people do some crazy stuff for love.
Right. I guess most people would consider this wild or like risky. Because remember, I graduated before you.
Right.
So that's in the sense of like me taking a chance on potential. Like what if you didn't turn out to be like hardworking or like, I mean, granted, I saw that you were in college because you worked in college and would bring me all this food. You know what? Maybe that's what it was too. I'm like, nah, because he got a job and he takes me places and brings me food in the morning and gets me all these little things I need, even though they weren't like big things. On the college level, they were big.
Right.
On the college level, that was a big deal. Eating good all the time. So
yeah, eating food.
But when you're talking about real world and post college, it's just kind of like, this is uncertain. Like, what if he decides to drop out? And it's just, which would be fine if you figured out an alternative, but it's just kind of like, that is a risk that some women are not willing to take.
But listen, I ain't trying to answer for you, but I will also say that there's no way you sense that in a sense.
I didn't have that feeling because obviously, like I said, you worked in college.
Right.
But I'm just talking about like as far as like career wise, that's a scary risk to take. But no, I didn't have that feeling. Like you were always responsible and brought me food and took me everywhere I needed to go. Shoot. So, look, my car broke down in college. He took me everywhere. So you did all the little man things. And when you were around Malachi, they're all nice to him and spent time with him and stuff like that. So I was just like, But like I said, for some women, that's like, you graduated before him? Oh my gosh. It's a risk. That's risky. And it is, but it's fine. We're good.
So the wildest thing you've done was to trust the uncertain.
Yes, that's a big thing, because security for women is big.
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, that's big. Let me think. To me, that's a big thing. Next. What counts more? Don't you lie.
Dang.
What counts more? Inner beauty or outer beauty?
Inner beauty.
You said that with conviction. Do you really mean that? And explain why. You didn't explain why.
Well, yeah, because I mean, obviously, the eye is attracted to the outer beauty, but you get to know somebody, you realize that your inner beauty stink.
Yeah.
It ain't what. I'm not blinded by the fact that you may look good, but your inner self needs some work. Mm-hmm. I'm not staying with you because I can't emotionally deal with that. Mm-hmm. So it's about the inner beauty, more so the outer beauty. You got a lot of people that get blinded by the outer beauty, and they try to ignore a lot of the inside because of how they look on their arm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But nah, not me. Like, I don't care. You could be Beyonce. Nah, if you stink, you stink. Mm-hmm. If you got a crazy attitude, you got a crazy attitude.
And you're not dealing with no matter how much of a baddie she is.
I ain't dealing with that. Nah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I ain't no. May have some trouble in the beginning, but then I'll come to my senses and be like, this is stupid. Like, no, I don't have to deal with this. Like, I don't have to deal with this. So no, I think, the inner beauty. Okay. It's almost like, you had those couples, they had really, really good sex. You're like, man, dang, man, like, man, she crazy or he crazy, but man, during that time, it's magical.
Like, but the D is fire.
It's magical.
Ain't no D that fire in the world for me to deal with somebody with an ugly personality, especially at this big age.
Not at this big age.
At this big age, I don't have time for foolishness. Period. So
you make a lot of crazy. You listen, like I said, like, you make some crazy decisions in your 20s. You get that 30 plus range, just like, no,
for real. It's just like I don't have time. Like, if you don't get, let me not make such a blanket statement. I was gonna say, if you don't get it together in your 30s, as far as those type of decision making, like, I know things ain't always gonna pan out, but as far as like the decision making and like consistently going for like the worst thing,
right?
I just can't. Friendships, relationships, all that, I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah. So you got to work on that. Yeah, you got to be good on the inside. Now, if you're good on the inside and your outside is matching it, man.
Sorry. Let me stop.
No, you feeling yourself?
I'm just joking.
So yeah, man.
Okay.
It's a really good question.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Well,
thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Cozy Talks. We're glad that you guys have tuned in to this 7th episode.
Yeah.
7th episode. 7 strong.
7 strong. Hit that subscribe button. No.
Subscribe, share. Please share this video. Please like this video. Mm-hmm. And follow us on our social channels: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Mm-hmm. And cheers to episode 7.
Until next time. It is nasty. Peace.
Wine is nasty.
This wine is nasty.